Manny Pacquiao.
Editor-in-Chief, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Again, I want to caution you to keep this fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say, you must obey. Good luck, touch them up, and God bless. Touch them up. Finish fighting.
Does this man still possess the Manny magic?
We'll have to either start fighting more or have trouble. Both in Barrios looking to establish.
Manny Pacquiao isn't just fighting an opponent, he's going toe-to-toe with time itself, and somehow he's still landing cleaner shots at 46. The man isn't slowing down, he's shifting gears. While most legends his age are watching reruns of their own highlights, Manny's out here making new ones. The way he moves, it's like he's paying interest on borrowed youth. His training footage looks less like retirement prep and more like someone on the verge of another title run. You see the head movement, the timing, the snap in those punches, and you start to wonder, is Pacquiao really done, or is he just warming up again? He's dodging time like it's a punch he's already slipped 1,000 times. This isn't just about legacy anymore, this feels personal. It's almost like Pacquiao's fighting for something deeper than belts. Maybe it's pride, maybe it's unfinished business, or maybe, just maybe, it's that same hunger that took him from the streets of the Philippines to global superstardom. In this latest training footage, Pacquiao looks like he was built in a lab, not born in '78. His physique is so shredded it makes action heroes look like extras. His footwork liquid smooth, his hand speed ludicrous. He's not just in shape, he's in fight night form, and it shows in every jab, every combo, every blur of motion that leaves even elite sparring partners second-guessing reality. At 46, Pacquiao's training like a man with something to prove, not to the world but to himself. There's a certain rage in his rhythm, a purpose in every punch that says this isn't a nostalgia act, this is real. He's throwing like someone who's been counted out and refuses to stay down, like someone who saw a tweet, a comment, a whisper that he's past his prime and took it personally. This isn't just about a comeback, this is about vengeance, this is about legacy, and judging by the footage, it's about domination. Pacquiao's not prepping like he's making a return, he's prepping like someone spit on his resume.
Definitely, you could definitely feel it, you know, for sure, especially going up those hills, you know, and for him to do this every day, every morning, is definitely a lot of hard work, but he's really
If you showed this training footage to someone who had no clue about boxing, no context, no idea what year it is, they'd probably guess 2010, maybe 2011 tops, because what they'd see is prime Pacquiao, fast, fluid, and ferocious. But it's 2025 and he's still out here moving like a man who refuses to read the script that says you're done. There's no hesitation in his punches, no drag in his step, just pure intensity. Like every session could be his last or his best. The gloves fly, the pads crack, and somewhere in between you realize this isn't normal, this isn't natural, this is legacy warfare disguised as a workout. But beyond the viral clips and the blazing hand speed, there's something more. A deeper motivation burns beneath the surface, because when Pacquiao finally sits down for a rare, candid interview with Andre Ward, we see a different fighter, one who's not just chasing glory but confronting something far more personal. This comeback might look physical, but it's spiritual, and it's just getting started.
Right to become boastful or arrogant, because I came from nothing. I'm part of those people sleeping in the street.
You can't go anywhere, whether you're in the Philippines or in America now. You got people lined up outside the gym. You can't even train in peace.
In a moment stripped of noise, fame, and flash, Manny Pacquiao opens up like never before. Sitting across from Andre Ward, there's no belt, no hype, just a man with stories carved into his skin and struggles stitched into every word. I have no right to be boastful, he says softly but firmly. I came from nothing, and he means it. He talks about sleeping in the streets, about hunger not just in his stomach but in his soul. It's not pity he wants, it's understanding, because when Manny speaks now, it's not just as a champion, it's as a survivor. This isn't your typical boxing interview, it's not about the next fight or the next opponent, it's about the journey, the weight of expectation, the pain that never made it to the highlight reel. Pacquiao peels back the layers, and what we see underneath is humbling. A fighter who never forgot the boy who had nothing. That's the man who's stepping into the ring, not a superstar, not a senator, a symbol.
Became a popular person, you become a famous, so that's your responsibility. The fans supported you, the people supported you, so it's your obligation to, you know, to give them time to say hi, hello.
Manny Pacquiao could easily walk with his chin up, chest out, and a crown made of every belt he ever earned, but he doesn't, because in his mind fame isn't a throne, it's a responsibility. The people supported me, he says, so it's my obligation to give back, even if it's just a hello. That simple line says everything. While other icons build walls, Manny opens doors. He's not training for glory anymore, he's training for them, for every kid who grew up barefoot, for every dreamer told they weren't good enough, for every Filipino who saw themselves in his climb. In this quiet exchange with Andre Ward, something powerful happens. You realize Manny's not fighting because he needs to, he's fighting because he still cares. The gloves may be on, but the battle is deeper than the ring. It's about purpose, service, legacy, and sometimes the greatest warriors aren't just the ones who win, they're the ones who remember why they started.
To be boastful, arrogant. I want to stay humble because Manny Pacquiao has nothing to do with, I have no right to become boastful or arrogant because I came from nothing. I'm part of those people sleeping.
Oscar de la Hoya didn't just weigh in on Manny Pacquiao's comeback, he delivered it with that classic golden boy charm, polished, honest, and laced with that "I've been in the ring with him authority. I'm rooting for Manny 1000%. Oscar said, voice steady, heart clearly behind the words. But then came the reality check. Age is age. It wasn't a cheap shot, it was honesty, sharp and clean like a left hook, with respect behind it, because at 46, Pacquiao isn't just facing Mario Barrios, he's facing the one undefeated opponent. No one escapes time, and Oscar knows better than most what that feels like. Reflexes that fade, reactions that delay by a heartbeat, and a body that doesn't bounce back. It negotiates. Pacquiao may still look the part, but as de la Hoya subtly hinted, this version of the fight is more than just gloves and game plans. It's a battle between the past and the present, between memory and muscle, between the man who defines speed and the ticking clock that wants to take it away.
You've shared the ring with Manny. What's your thoughts?
I'm rooting for Manny 1000%, obviously, because we shared the ring, but age is age. I mean, you just never know. He's going up against a young fighter.
Oscar de la Hoya isn't one to sugarcoat reality, even when speaking about a legend he admires, and in his latest comments he gave Manny Pacquiao his due big time. He praised the dedication, the savage work ethic, the grind that made him an 8-division world champ and broke more jaws than most careers ever allow. That kind of discipline, Oscar said, you don't see every day. But even as he gave Manny his flowers, Oscar didn't let sentimentality fog the facts. Training is one thing, he warned. Fighting at 46, that's a whole different animal. And he's right, you can look great on the mitts, burn up the heavy bag, and move like lightning in the gym, but under bright lights with a young lion in front of you, that's when the truth gets revealed. Still, Oscar couldn't help but smile when he pointed to one of Manny's overlooked weapons, his legs. Those legs, he chuckled, they're carved like bowling balls, probably bench press more than most of the welterweights today. It wasn't just a compliment, it was a reminder Manny's lower body strength isn't just for show, it's a power source, a base, a time-tested foundation that might just hold up against the years trying to take him down.
Just go for it, just be careful. You're facing a young guy who was probably half your age.
You could hear the crowd laugh, but they knew it was real. Oscar de la Hoya, in classic golden boy fashion, delivered a line that landed like a perfectly timed jab. Those legs, they're not legs, they're time machines. It was part joke, part gospel, because Manny Pacquiao's tree trunk legs have always been one of his biggest weapons, but often one of the least talked about until you're in the ring, until they're pushing off the canvas, launching impossible angles, springing into range with rib-shattering hooks. Then suddenly everyone remembers Oscar. Like the rest of the boxing world knows the excitement around Pacquiao's return is real, the admiration off the charts, but he wasn't afraid to remind fans that this isn't a scripted comeback story, this is real life, and in real life aging isn't a background character, it's the villain in every fight past 40. If Pacquiao wants to not just survive but win, he'll need more than experience, more than skill. He'll need those iconic legs to defy nature, to rewind the clock, to take us all back to a time when no one could catch him, not even time itself.
40, what is he, 46? Yeah. Hey, Manny, go out there, do your thing. Use your thick calf legs to just run circles around.
Bernard Hopkins doesn't just comment, he lectures, and when it comes to Pacquiao's return he didn't hold back. He went full history professor mode, standing tall with that "I've done it too" confidence that only someone like B-Hop can wear convincingly. In a moment that felt part press conference, part TED Talk, Hopkins reminded the world that if Pacquiao pulls this off, if he actually wins a major title at 46, he'll tie the record. Hopkins himself set the oldest fighter to win a world championship, and he said, It with a smirk that almost dared anyone under 30 to fact-check him. Go ahead, Google me, he joked, but beneath the smile was a subtle challenge because Hopkins knows how hard it is. He's lived the mountain. Pacquiao's trying to climb the injuries, the doubt, the media narratives that say you're done before you even throw a punch. But Hopkins also knows something else, that the only thing more powerful than age is legacy, and right now Manny is trying to etch his name next to one of the few men who actually beat time, if only for one night.
If Pacquiao is successful, he will become tied with the record I set and broke from George Foreman as the oldest champion to win a major title in the light heavyweight division.
Only Bernard Hopkins could deliver a boxing insight while flexing fool and dad energy, name-dropping his daughter and nephews just to prove he's still plugged into the culture. But beneath the playful flex, Hopkins had a serious take on Manny Pacquiao's return. According to him, this isn't about money, it's not even just about pride, it's about chasing the kind of legacy that echoes through generations. Hopkins sees this comeback as something bigger than just another fight. In his words, Pacquiao isn't just fighting an opponent, he's fighting an era, maybe even a few of them. At 46, the stakes aren't about who wins a round or lands the sharper jab, it's about defying the very blueprint of boxing history where youth almost always wins and legends quietly bow out. But Manny, he's not interested in a quiet exit. Hopkins says it plain, this is a battle between timelines, between a fighter who's seen the mountaintop and refuses to come down, and the cold reality of Father Time, who's never lost. One more win means more than just another belt. It's a jab at mortality, a punch at the past, and maybe a shot at immortality.
Fat check it is there. That's your generation. Y'all fat check a lot. I got a daughter that's 26.
Mario Barrios didn't hesitate when he got the call. Manny Pacquiao wanted to fight him, and at first it felt surreal, like a video game matchup you'd dream up on fight night. Young prospect versus aging legend. Barrios even laughed about it, saying it felt like loading up career mode and being thrown into boxing history. But the fantasy ended quickly because reality hit hard when he realized Pacquiao at 46 was training like it was still 2010. Same speed, same movement, same terrifying angles. This wasn't an exhibition, it wasn't a farewell, it was a real fight against a man who refuses to fade into history quietly. Barrios knows this isn't just another payday or a legacy padding win. He's been given the opportunity or the burden to play spoiler on one of boxing's most iconic careers, and he's showing up for more than just respect. He's coming to take the torch and leave no doubts about who owns the present moment.
One of those like dream type of fights, right? Like when you're playing like fight night and you're matching up all these different fighters from different like eras. But yeah, you know, he's trying to do something big.
Mario Barrios might respect Pacquiao's greatness, but make no mistake, he's here to end it. There's no false humility, no fake praise. When asked about all the Pacquiao love flooding fight week, Barrios didn't blink. He can have all that, he said. The lights, the fans, the attention, it'll be taking what matters, the win. That's the attitude of a man not looking to survive, but to dominate. And it's not just him, even his coach Bob Santos is treating this like a mission with a target, having studied Pacquiao's tendencies for years. Santos claims they know the blueprint. We know how Manny works, he said with calm confidence, and we've built around that. Barrios and his team aren't guessing, they're executing. The way he talks, it's like he's downloaded every pattern, every habit, every micro movement from Pacquiao's decades of wars, and now they're ready to counter it all like snipers with a manual. They've mapped out his rhythm and are ready to exploit it. This isn't a ceremonial fight, it's a calculated ambush, and Barrios is walking in with full intent to change history, not honor it.
The big thing, right? Like go in there, try to make him feel his age, and but yeah, you know, regardless whether it's by, if I see I have him hurt, you know, I'm gonna try to get him out of there. But if it goes to decision, then
Barrios isn't here for the nostalgia tour. In fact, he openly laughed at the idea that Team Pacquiao studied his last fight too closely. If they're basing their plan on that night, he smirked, they've already made a mistake. The confidence isn't forced, it's lived in. It's the kind of quiet aggression that tells you this guy isn't showing up to respect legacy, he's coming to rewrite it. Barrios knows who Pacquiao is, he respects the name, but he doesn't fear it. And when asked what happens if he sees Manny hurt in the ring, he didn't hesitate. I'm going to try and get him out of there. He's not training for a legend, he's training for a war, and that distinction matters because this isn't just about beating a name, it's about seizing a moment, the kind of moment that can launch a career or end a myth. Pacquiao versus Barrios isn't just a fight, it's a collision of eras, a generational flashpoint where the old guard puts it all on the line and the new guard tries to kick down the door. The winner won't just have their hand raised, they'll take home something far more valuable, the right to shape what comes next.
You know what his reason was, you know, for picking me, and it was my job, you know, to make him regret, you know, wanting this fight.
No matter where your loyalty lies, whether you're backing the living legend or betting big on the upset, one thing's guaranteed: this fight is fireworks from the first bell. If Manny Pacquiao pulls off the win, it's another insane chapter in a story that's already impossible to believe. A 46-year-old warrior returning from retirement, beating the odds again, and reminding the world why he's a once-in-a-generation icon. But if Barrios wins, if he shocks the world and finishes what so many couldn't, he doesn't just win a fight, he claims a place in history. He becomes the man who closed the curtain on one of boxing's greatest careers. Either way, we're getting a clash that transcends hype. It's legacy versus hunger, fame versus fire, the end of an era or the rise of a new one. So if you're even slightly hyped, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because here at Boxing Headquarters we're covering every jab, every round, and every storyline you care about. And trust me, this is just getting started.